Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's jump right into this. Picture this. It's a totally ordinary Tuesday morning. You wake up, you pour yourself a nice cup of coffee, and you pop open your laptop to start your day. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? But suddenly, what should be a completely routine, boring morning turns into an absolute digital identity nightmare. The victim we're following in our source material woke up, casually went to check their email, and was instantly hit with a chilling realization. Two little words: wrong password. You know that feeling, right? You frown, you type it in again, maybe a little slower this time, making sure every single letter and number is exactly right. But nope, it still denies you.
Well, naturally, the next step is just hitting Forgot Password. No big deal. You wait a second for that familiar little reset code to ding on your phone, but as the victim waited, literally nothing happened. They checked their phone, full signal bars, completely connected, but absolutely zero messages. They were entirely locked out of their own life. As they noted later, that was the very first sign of the disaster. They just didn't realize it yet.
To really understand how this catastrophic Tuesday morning actually happened, we've got to rewind a bit. 3 weeks earlier, the victim got what looked like a perfectly normal standard email from the Google security team. It had this scary warning about unusual sign-in activity from another country. I mean, it had the right logo, the perfect colors, and this panic-inducing message practically screaming at them to take immediate action to secure the account. And honestly, this is such a brilliant trap. You see an urgent Protect My Account Now button, you panic, and you click it. It took them straight to a flawless, pixel-perfect visual replica of Google's actual login page. Reacting purely on fear, the victim punched in their details, but they weren't securing their account at all. They were handing their password straight over to a hacker who probably spent, 2 hours copying the web design? Just one single click, and they handed over the keys to the castle.
Now, this is where it gets genuinely creepy. It's the hacker's surgical patience. You'd think a criminal would immediately start breaking things, changing passwords, stealing cash, right? Nope. At 2:47 in the morning, while the victim was fast asleep, the hackers silently logged in. They didn't change a single password yet. Instead, they spent 2 solid hours just reading emails, building this incredibly detailed map of the victim's life. And then, they just waited for 3 full days before making their next move.
During those 2 hours in the middle of the night, the hacker was meticulously pulling out very specific details without triggering a single security alert. They found the bank's name buried in old transaction emails, the phone number pulled from food delivery receipts, the home address from random shopping orders, even their date of birth just from a restaurant's birthday promo email. They built a master list of every linked account, Netflix, Instagram, LinkedIn, Amazon, simply by searching the inbox for old welcome emails. The hacker documented the whole shebang and then quietly logged out. Fast forward 3 days, the hacker uses that perfectly stolen profile to pull off a SIM swap attack. Armed with the victim's full name, date of birth, and home address, the hacker casually calls up the mobile provider. They play the victim, claiming they lost their phone and desperately need the number transferred to a new SIM card. And because they had literally all the right answers to the security questions, they passed with flying colors. This devastating transfer took just 20 minutes.
And back in the victim's world, they just saw no service pop up in the corner of their phone screen. They figured, hey, the network must be down, and planned to call the provider later. They were blissfully unaware that from that exact second, every single text message, every one-time password, and every bank verification code was flying straight into the hacker's hands.
So with the email and the phone number totally locked down, the hacker goes for the actual prize, the bank. Using the Forgot Password feature, they routed the text message code right to their own phone and walked right in. But again, look at this terrifying patience. They didn't just drain the account. They silently watched the victim's spending habits first. Then they siphoned out exactly $610, broken into 3 totally mundane transactions: $200, $180, and $230. These amounts were specifically chosen to completely fly under the bank's automated fraud radar. The money literally vanished like water leaking through a tiny crack.
But oh man, the bank was really just the tip of the iceberg. The fallout triggered this massive, terrifying domino effect across all their platforms. Gmail was the master key, completely compromised. The bank account lost money and ended up frozen. Instagram, locked, immediately sold to a stranger and used to push fake products to their friends. On LinkedIn, the hacker impersonated the victim so well they scammed 3 colleagues out of $780. Amazon was used to buy random electronics. Honestly, the only stroke of luck in this entire mess was PayPal, whose internal fraud detection actually caught and blocked an attempted theft.
You know, the craziest part about all of this, the most devastating part, wasn't actually the lost money. It was the deep, quiet, psychological violation of it all. The victim was left completely haunted by one question. How well did this stranger actually understand me? Just realizing that some anonymous hacker had studied their writing style for weeks, learning exactly how to sound like them just to scam their trusted colleagues. I mean, it literally felt like someone had silently walked through every room of their house while they were sleeping.
So that incredibly confusing Tuesday morning, which started with a miserable 30-minute hold on a landline just to ask why the cell service was down, kicked off an absolutely agonizing 6-week process. Think about that. A 20-minute hack resulted in 6 full weeks of phone calls, stress, and fighting just to claw back their basic digital identity.
And the dark irony of this recovery is just staggering. The exact same verification systems that so utterly failed to protect the victim were suddenly painfully slow and strict when trying to help them. The bank's investigation dragged on for 3 weeks, and they actually refused to refund $180 because they said the transaction looked normal. Instagram made them jump through hoops, government IDs, video selfies, taking 11 days, only to leave the account totally shadow banned anyway. LinkedIn demanded a literal police report. And the most heartbreaking part, the victim permanently lost a trusting relationship with a colleague who had been scammed out of $400.
So, what we really need to understand here is this exact chain reaction. It goes like this. Step 1. A phishing email steals the Gmail password. Step 2. Gmail hands over all the personal data. Step 3. A SIM swap hijacks the text messages. Step 4. That combo of phone and email unlocks everything else. Step 5. The accounts are weaponized to steal money and trust. The big takeaway here is actually pretty simple, but incredibly profound. If you break that very first link, if you just stop and don't make that single, hurried click on a fake security email, absolutely none of this devastation ever happens.
Listen, if you don't want to end up as just another routine job for a hacker, like literally just victim number 47 out of 200 for their month, you've got to lock your digital doors today. These are non-negotiable. Turn on two-factor authentication, but use an authenticator app. Do not use SMS, because as we just saw, text messages can be easily SIM-swapped. Get a password manager so every single account has a totally unique, impossible-to-guess password. Always double-check the actual website URL before you log in. Don't just trust how the page looks. Set up bank alerts to notify you for every single transaction over $1. And seriously, call your mobile provider today and tell them to add a SIM-lock PIN to your account.
Your digital identity isn't just a random username and a password anymore. It holds your money, your personal relationships, your reputation, your entire history. It's all deeply connected, and it is incredibly fragile. Guard it like it's real, because it is. So I want to leave you with this thought today as you look at your own digital doors. Are they truly locked against someone who already knows everything about you? Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next Explainer.